We've all heard of karma, the veil of oblivion, and Akashic records. These concepts are omnipresent in New Age spirituality and even in some ancient traditions. But what if all these were actually a massive control system? Why do we forget our past lives? Who decides what we have to pay? And do these Akashic records really contain any truth? Today we're going to have a look at how these three concepts work together in order to keep humans entrapped in the matrix. Let's start with the manipulative tool called Veil of Oblivion. We are taught that every time we reincarnate, we forget our previous lives in order to avoid being overwhelmed by traumatic memories. The Veil of Oblivion is thus supposed to safeguard and allow us to start from scratch. So how come some children may remember their previous lives and such veil is systematically applied? The Veil of Oblivion is unnatural. It's actually a matrix reset technology, a deliberate memory interference designed to prevent us from perceiving the cyclical, coerced nature of incarnation. And if oblivion were a blessing, how is that some children, as shown by Robert Monroe's discoveries, may retain memories that eventually disappear as they grow older? The truth is, those memories aren't lost, they are just locked. Authentic, unfiltered memories may be recovered only through a reconnection with true spirit. Now let's have a look at the moral prison known as karma. We are told we must pay for faults committed in previous lives. Our current suffering is supposedly due to past deeds, and we thus reincarnate to learn lessons and evolve spiritually. Karma is not a cosmic law, but a program for recycling souls. How can we learn and grow when we can't remember anything? This system coerces souls into accepting undue suffering and maintains their captivity. Why do some evil souls live privileged lives while others experience suffering from birth on? This fictional theft has nothing to do with divine justice, but is a servitude mechanism to reincorporate souls in the astral matrix after each death. Which leads us next to the generally unreliable astral mirror Akashic records or. Akashic records are often described as a vast cosmic library storing all memories of the past, present, and future. They may be accessed through meditation, hypnosis, or via Akashic guardian. But what we call Akashic records actually seems to be an astral memory that is partial, inconsistent, and often biased by the matrix. If these reflected the absolute truth, why do accounts differ according to who accessed them? Why do they almost always support the karmic dogma and the need to reincarnate? Rather than a reliable source, they are more like a database of vibrations modulated by astral filters. Consulting these records would be like seeking the truth on the internet, except that the results are sorted by an invisible search engine. If they were a genuine source of empowering knowledge, how come mankind is still caught up in such confusion and spiritual amnesia? Both Veil of Oblivion, Karma, and Akashic records are part of an invisible prison serving the hidden agenda of the system. The Veil of Oblivion prevents us from perceiving the cycle of coerced incarnation, Why karma encourages individuals to accept their condition, and Akashic records foster the illusion of knowledge. If these tools were truly designed for our own good, how come they are preventing us from understanding the true nature of the matrix and our entrapment? How can we break free of these illusions? Robert Monroe, an explorer of astral traveling, found that reincarnation is an evolution, but a system of course recycling. Why encourage us to return over and over again, if not to keep us in a cycle of energetic servitude? There are many accounts of people enduring lifetimes of suffering who are convinced they are thereby atoning for alleged past faults, even though they have no memory of them. Why some gurus may seize the opportunity to sell them karmic healing. Why do people spend their lives trying to clear karma they can't even remember? How can they be sure it's not a trap? Amongst the influential figures who have promoted the concept of Akashic records are Linda O, who offered a positive approach but whose accounts proved inconsistent, Dolores Cannon, known for her work in regressive hypnosis but often contradicted by patients' testimonies, and Edgar Cayce, the so-called sleeping prophet, who claimed to tap into Akashic records but whose predictions were not always accurate. So it would seem the Akashic readings are colored by astral filters and therefore do not provide absolute truth. We should therefore avoid resorting to hypnosis or meditation to find out about past lives, because it's an astral trap. We should also avoid attempting to clear our karma, as it feeds on the system, and try not to access Akashic records, since they are distorted by matrix filter and astral inconsistencies. Instead, we should re-establish our vibratory authority and dismiss the idea of karmic debt. Understand that we are not souls but spirits held captive by a matrix structure, and reconnect with our spirit as a sole reliable source of information. And what if the only way out was not about paying off a debt but realizing it never existed in the first place? In short, karma, the veil of oblivion, and Akashic records are not evolutionary tools, but control mechanisms. We must stop accepting these dogmas and seek reality for ourselves. So, did you ever question what you've always been told about reincarnation?